Olá, feliz em tê-los aqui. Eu sou o Diogo Calor e como host do PodGerar Energia, estamos aqui para mostrar para vocês quais foram as energias que levaram os maiores profissionais e empresários do Brasil e do mundo a chegar no topo da sua carreira. E hoje, como sempre, dias muito especiais, com pessoas muito especiais. Hoje eu estou aqui com um amigo que é o Felipe Cuesta, que é diretor da Helco, antiga Kohler. E hoje nós teremos um bate-papo para conhecer como foi a carreira dele e quais foram as energias que o trouxeram até aqui. Felipe, thank you so much. I appreciate you here with us, and I would like to have a good conversation, a free conversation talking about your life, for we can understand what and how energy bring you to here with us and for this moment. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Diogo. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Felipe Cuesta, Director of Sales for Redco, Latin America and the Caribbean, and working here with Diogo. And thank you for the invitation.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. So let's start talking about your history, about the Felipe Cuesta when you was. I know you are young, but when you was younger, about your childhood, when you begin, when you remember your first time in your life, the first thing that you had when we were a kid.
Wow, that's good question. And you're also young. We're about the same age,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
Still
yes.
very young, but it's still a long time ago. So, first things I remember. Well, I'm originally from Colombia. So my memories are with my country, my family, my culture, the Latin culture and Hispanic heritage that's strong, in our cultures here in South America. And it just being a kid, go outside, play, make friends. Life was not so complicated as we grow up. Things change, for us. So that's me when I finished the high school, around 17, 18 years old. I moved to the U.S. to continue my superior education. We call college, and
In the United States.
in the United States,
Yeah.
yes. So I moved to the States. My sister was living there at the time, and so I moved in with her older sister. We were with four children. I'm the youngest, and so one of my sister was in the States. Moved with her, and started learning English, and then learning English. Then right away started my college in engineering. So I started in my early life, in my early years. I figured out how things work. So very curiosity, and when I took physics and math, that's my favorite, subjects in school. So I kind of knew that I wanted to do something that I was somehow technical, and that's me. Then my siblings, my brothers and sisters, they immigrated as well. The rest, my parents. So now all my family is in the States,
Yeah, in America.
Yeah. So got married, got kids, and I'm happily there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very nice. And when you come and you arrive at the United States, you have 18
Yes,
18 years old,
yes.
and
Yeah.
you started in your career engineering when you arrived to United States.
Exactly. Yeah, started with engineering. Started studying mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineer.
So I graduated as a mechanical engineer. Went to West Virginia University. So
Virginia.
from the mountains of Colombia to the mountains of the West Virginia. So kind of went there and graduated, and started working.
And how about the Colombian that time? It's different. Should you study? It's the same. It's the same from Brazil, or is it different? What's the difference between Colombian that time and Colombia nowadays? And
Yeah.
we can compare it with
Yeah.
Brazil, for example.
Right. Good question. At the time, early 90s, we have a lot of there was some violence going on with with the drug cartels that that's unfortunately very popular. So safety wasn't the best. I know some of our country will still have some of those issues, but it was there were a lot of challenges in the future back then. So that was one of the reasons that myself and my family decided maybe it's better for you to continue your education in the U.S. than stay here, because it was very uncertain, right?
Yeah.
You're always hopeful that where you're from is gonna get better, but times were difficult there. Fortunately, things changed, and things got much better in the country after I left, which is good, for the people that stay behind. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons. It was, things difficult, political violence and things like
Yeah,
that.
same
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Same
yeah.
like here in Brazil.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then it's a good story to understand because we have a lot of younger people here in
Right.
Brazil that would like to understand if we can change our country and change
Yeah.
our country. When you arrive in United States,
Yeah.
in Colombia, when
Right.
you was young
Right.
and had I studied in your college
Yeah.
in Colombia, did you study English too, or when you
Yeah.
go to the United States, it's the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
experience with an American language?
Well, it's a good question. I was fortunate enough that when I went to school, we studied English. It wasn't a bilingual, but I have the opportunity to learn some English. But at the same time, when you arrive, you don't understand. So I studied English. I don't know, 5 years in my school, and then you get there, it's a cultural shock, and the language, the
Yeah.
accents, the expressions are different. So it's I think everyone gets that impact when they move from a foreign country. But then you kind of get used to it. But
But
yes,
you don't speak English in that time.
a little bit. Yes,
A little
I
bit,
started.
yeah,
I started. Yeah, so that helped.
Yeah.
That's helped. Yeah, that definitely helped
because-
with the learning curve. Yes.
Okay, because when I was young and I had my college,
Yeah.
and we have a joke in here in Brazil that we
Yeah.
say, and you study, and the first class
Yeah.
until the last one here
Yeah.
in Brazil,
Yeah.
just learning to be verb. So
To
I
be-
study all my life to be verb, and now if I'm 44 years old
Yeah.
and I don't speak English because
Yeah.
all my life I studied just to be verb.
Yeah, to be verb, right? The famous to be
The
verb, right?
to be
No,
verb.
but your English is very good.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you
yes.
so much. You are my friend.
Yeah, of course. Oh, wait.
Oh, but it's very nice because I believe that is very interesting when we talk about it because the Brazil live in a difficult time,
Right,
and our young people.
right.
I don't know if believing that living in America. I have never been living in America.
Right,
I
right.
I go to America sometimes, but I have been living there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what is the living this different culture.
Right,
So how can an American people receive the another ones?
right.
I believe that is so difficult. It's not so easy. And you are young.
Yeah.
I believe that when we are shy, that's
Yeah.
so difficult. In the first years, how can you did it for you understand and
Yeah.
to be inside from this
Yeah.
culture? How can you
Yeah.
did this?
Yes. It's always a cultural shock, of course, and some things are great, some things are not so great, and you still miss your home, right? Where you from, your family, and everything around it, from food to the different things. So it's an adjustment. Is that day by day thing. What I remember for myself is to have a goal, right? My goal was to study and get an education, despite the things that were difficult all the time, like language, culture, making friends, being able to be independent at that age. So I was okay. What's my goal? What I'm here for? And my goal is to get my education and become a professional and succeed in life. So I think you gotta know your goals and stick to them to go through. And I think that applies to life in general, not just but when you go through those, because it's the other challenge when you go through out of your comfort zone, because when you're at home living with your parents and you have mom bringing your coffee and taking care of you, and then you come in and have to work and being by yourself, be responsible for yourself it's difficult and it's a change. So out of your comfort zone, it makes you stronger, but keep you focused what I'm here for, and this, and I'm and fight to get that goal.
And that opportunity, you arrived in America with you and your sister.
Yeah, my
Just
sister was
both.
Yeah, so I was lucky that my sister was there, older sister. So at least I have somebody to at least show me a little bit better and got more experience. She was young too. She wasn't. I would
And so
say,
your
yeah.
mom and your parents stay in Colombia.
Yeah. So we just stay at the time. Yeah, they currently live now in
Yeah.
in the U.S., but at the time they were. So my sister, guided me through a lot. So I thank her a lot for being there for me. She was like my mom at the time, but she was young too. She was early 20s, so she needed.
Oh, very young
So
too.
yeah, she was. So of course, both of us supported each other.
And some America familia received you there, or you go?
No. I mean, I stayed with my sister, and started studying, and then I started on my own, started living on my by myself, and then
Very nice.
translating and started my life. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
very good.
helps you mature fast,
Yeah.
and I think it helps for us, here in Brazil or in other countries to when you move by yourself as a younger person, you mature faster, right? You appreciate what you have,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you get the real life sooner.
Yeah, I didn't have this experience like you, but I can remember in my when I was young, when I started to work, I believe that everything is changed when we have uh, a different parents. For my mom and my papa, they work hard for me and for my brother and
Yeah.
sisters. So we learn I believe that the main thing that we need to learn in our life, that the responsibility and the respect with each others.
Yeah.
So I believe that your story is the same, because your parents
Yeah.
improve you
Yeah.
until 18 years old, and after that put some I don't know how can I say, but some courage in you for you. Oh man, let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
Exactly. They give you the tools, right? They
Do
give
you
you the
remember?
tools.
Do you remember the last thing that your mother said when you go to United States? Your last time in Colombia with your parents
Oh, that's
before
a good question.
go to the.
Well, she always says, God bless you, go with God, and I love you.
Yes.
Those words always, and to this day, I talked to her yesterday, always, send God blessings and sending love. Yeah.
I believe that you can remember that at exactly time.
Yeah. You remember everything. Yeah.
Yes, when I can remember if my mom say something for me when I was young, I can feel the smell of my mom, the smell of my home. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
It's a nice,
Very
yes,
nice history.
good memories. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm so happy because we can stay here to this conversation to show for another people and the guys and the young guys that everything is possible.
It's possible, yeah.
difficult, but it's possible. Yeah.
Exactly. It's always like everything in life is it doesn't get easier as you get older, but you mature enough to make the best decisions with the knowledge that you have, and I think that's helpful. If you want to go and give it a try, I think it's a great
Yeah,
experience.
nothing need to be easy.
Yeah.
Nothing to be easy, but we can
Exactly.
push on ourselves and believe and thanks God and go ahead, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe that we have someone to fight. Man, we have our parents, our family. We need to fight because there's another person, we have a family to protect and to improve different ways, and that's it.
And believe in yourself. Right?
Yes,
you have to do it for yourself.
Because that doesn't matter where you are. Yes, if we're Colombian, Brazilian, America, we can do everything.
Right.
And we will find good people and bad people,
Exactly.
and the life is it. And
It's
go ahead. Yeah, we are soldiers, and that's it.
Yeah. We're all humans are the same. Yeah.
Very nice, Felipe. And let's talk about. I would like to understand now.
Yeah.
About your career.
Right.
You start your mechanical engineering course in the United States.
Yeah.
Everything is difficult because it's a new culture.
Yeah.
You started in your career in the United States.
Correct.
This is your first time that you talking about engineering,
that's
about
correct.
the mechanic. Was your first time in that time?
Yes, that was my first time. So I graduated in 2007, around 2007. And my first job was as a designer, mechanical designer for heating and cooling, a ventilation company. And in 2008 is when the market crashed in the U.S. So a lot of people lost their jobs.
And
Yeah.
you are studying.
I graduated one
You-
year before that.
Okay.
Graduated in 2007, and in 2008,
Eight.
Graduated half the year, June, July of 2007. Then 2008, the market crashed in the U.S. It was very difficult times in the U.S., like nothing seen before. So a lot of people lost their jobs.
We're talking
fear-
about the financial problem that
Yes.
with the banks
with the
and
banks.
that
Yeah,
time, yeah.
right.
Yes, it's very hard time.
It
huh?
was a hard time. So I
Mm.
was out of school. So just to give you a perspective, I was, a level entry engineer. There were, more senior level between me. Most of the senior level people were let go because,
Yeah.
they make more money,
Yeah.
they more experience, more knowledge. And I was reporting almost to the president. So everything downgraded. So, I was fortunate, and thank God that I kept my job, even though I was a kid, with zero engineering experience. Kept working on it. That was in the Washington, D.C. area that I worked. Then I relocated back to Atlanta. That's when I arrived to the U.S., Atlanta, Georgia. And my sisters lived there. And I went to see, wanted to be close to my family again. She got married. She got, I had nephews now. So I moved back to Georgia, Atlanta. And then within a few months of getting there, I got a new job, great. And then I suffered because of the crisis, the financial crisis. So I was let go. So it was 6 months I didn't get a job, even though I was young. I have an engineering degree. I got 1 year and a half experience. Still, suffer. So a lot of us. It was a difficult time in the U.S. 2008 to 2010, 11. It was difficult times. A lot of people unemployed. People, trying to do any work to survive. So it was a hard year for me that year because you come to the U.S. to improve your life and then you find this maybe the same economic situation in this country. So but again, persevere, and that's how I got into the power generation. Started working with one of the largest power generation providers at the time, and started my career as a project engineer for generators, and that was in 2010. And from there, now 2026 and 16 years later, I'm still working on the power generation. And
But your first job in America was when you finished your study.
right, I finished my study as a mechanic
In
engineer.
that time when you studied, you just study in America.
Yes, I was studying in America. Yes,
It's all day studying or not?
No, I was studying and also doing works. I mean, you have to do some work too. I wasn't
Everything to survive.
Everything to survive, right?
Yeah.
Yes, work in restaurants.
Yeah, I got it.
So
So you arrived in the United States and started to work in
yes, that's
anything else.
yes, anything else, working in restaurants, I do valet parking, so I can drive very good without looking very fast. So I worked years there,
Very nice.
good experience. Yeah. So I did different type of jobs while I was studying, of course, to pay for bills and survive. Yeah. So it wasn't easy either. When you come from home and you're supported by your parents, but then you come in and you have to not only pay for the education but also your food, your rent, everything. So it's busy times for a younger kid. Go to work, then after work go study, do homework, go get up, and the same thing. But that's what I'm saying. It's important to be focused and know it's a temporary pain. I think it's hard,
Yes.
but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you have to persevere. Focus and go through it, and things get better.
Yeah. And then in that time, American people
Yeah.
received you good. What do you feel in that time when you had a relationship with the real American people?
Right.
It's because I asking you about it because for any time I heard that the American people don't like so much when another people comes to another country.
Yeah,
it's true.
No, I don't think it's true. I think is a perception. From my personal experience, like you said, there's good and bad people everywhere, right? And I have very good people that did not understand but helped me. Well, there were people that were not very kind to me, and all. But my experience overall, American people are very very good people. They're good hearted.
Yes.
They are open. That's why many of us try to go there.
And I
Yeah.
believe that it's different because your first time was in Virginia,
No, I arrived to Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia, so
Yeah,
totally different because
very
every
different culture.
people, yes, every very different. Every people that I heard something about it was because they work in Orlando,
Yeah, like
Los
or
Angeles,
Miami
Miami,
or
Orlando.
New York, which
Yeah,
is more diverse. But at the time, it wasn't
there is a
too
lot
diverse.
of Mexican people, yeah,
Right, right,
Brazilian people.
exactly. But over there at the time, no, there were majority were Americans from African Americans and white Americans, right?
Yeah.
There were the majority, and as Latinos were a very small group at the time. So I think that also helped me with the language, right? I needed to get so both all the communities for me were welcoming. I was blessed and very good people that
Yeah.
explain things to me, teach things to me. And like you said, there were people that were some people were not, but overall, I have a good experience with the people. People were welcoming. People, when you try to speak the English, they try to listen. So I think it's maybe what they call bad reputation, maybe sometimes that shows the bad side sometimes, but overall, for me
But
it's good.
I believe the difference is because you talking about Georgia and Washington
Yeah.
D.C. It's totally different when talking about Miami,
Right,
Orlando.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
It's- it's-
In Georgia, I believe that 9.9% of the American guys is really American guys.
That's true. That's true. The majority were, born and
Yeah.
raised in many generations of, Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
are a real American
yeah. So
people.
right. It was cultural shock, but then you start understanding, and I think it's important when you go to a new country, like you come to Brazil, get involved with your culture, the language, so you become a better citizen, right? You take advantage of what the country has to offer if you
Yeah.
open,
And it's very nice. I believe I like a lot to know new people, American people
Yeah.
around the world. I believe that it's very nice.
It's important,
And
yeah.
when here in Brazil nowadays, it's very common. Some people around the world come to here to start your new life for
Yeah.
the Asian people. Oh,
Yeah.
so yes, there's from Bolivia.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people come here to Brazil, and I appreciate a lot because I believe that if the Brazilian guys don't want to work someone will
We'll do
want, yeah,
We'll do the work.
yeah, we'll
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
then that's it. It's okay.
Yeah.
We need you an opportunity to
Yeah.
improve ourselves and improve our life. So it's very very nice.
Exactly. You're a good person. You do what's right. I think here anywhere is you're gonna be welcome.
Yeah, it's very nice experience. Then thank you
Yeah,
so much,
thanks. No,
Felipe,
thanks. Yeah.
to
Appreciate
share
it.
with me.
You're bringing a lot of memories now.
Yeah,
you know?
very nice, huh? And very nice, very nice. And
Thank
you finish your engineering career,
Yeah.
the engineering school.
Yeah.
You started in some company, and the second company that you started work is with generator.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. So that was I started working with the generators and
In your
fell for love.
second experience in the technical.
My second as a technical, yes. So although I was doing mechanical engineer, a lot of now my career has been mostly generators, electrical components, and electrical applications from there. So and I love power generation. Here the lights, everything that we use in the cell phones. It
Yeah.
needs power, right? And we do a lot of good to society with generation.
You
So
started with generator in 2012.
2010.
2010.
Yeah,
Yes.
2010. Yeah.
I started my career with generator in 1996
Oh,
when
wow.
I was 14 years old
Wow.
with a
Wow.
technician. The difference between us, I believe that is it, because I start with an auxiliary technician,
Right.
and after that I was technician, and after that I study engineering. And so at every time in my whole life, I just want company that I worked without generators.
Yeah.
But generator here in Brazil, we say each other, when you work at generator one time in your life,
That's it. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
You will die
Yeah.
work
Give
with
me
the generator. Yeah.
generators.
When they close the box, man, where's the light?
Where's the light?
The
Exactly.
generator don't start it. We just play started this generator.
Exactly.
I would like to die with lights.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Once you enter the rest of your life, you're in
Yes,
power
right.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice. And what was the first experience with generator? Is in what company?
I worked with Caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Yes.
Just
In actually was in Georgia. So it's a factory that assemble the generators there, and I was working for a group that we do a lot of custom solutions for generators. So a lot of special cooling systems, control enclosures, and containerized units. And back then there was also a crisis in energy. What's it called? The IPP, independent power producers. So a lot of rental, big applications happening around the world. I don't know if you recall in Japan when they have the big tsunami. So a lot of generators needed to go there, and down here in South America, in Chile, with the crisis in power, that they needed. So working some of those projects, so I have the ability to learn fast too, and get involved on the generator. So first thing was seeing these big engines. First biggest engine I saw was a car engine. Then you see these big diesel engines, and understand how an engine makes power and all that. Even though you're an engineer, and I'm sure you're the same, right? You're how all the school that you learn, all the theory, how that applies into the real life of a generator. So I love it, being in the factory and have the ability to go to the sites and see the generators. I think that's the passion that you say. Once you enter that, you learn a lot of different things. Yeah.
It's very nice school.
Yeah, it's a very good school. Yeah.
I remember that the first time that I saw a Caterpillar generator, I was very young. I believe that I was 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And I go to some place and had on one a Caterpillar, and that time I believe it was 700 kVA.
Yeah.
And that time the old generators with two banks of battery to start the generators, and it's in a farm. The generator was in a farm, and the owner said me, "Man, the generator is there. Go there." And I look for that space that have nothing around the generator. There's nothing, and I'm alone. And I go to the key, and when I started, this sound, it's very, very strong. I push it, stop it. Oh my gosh! I'm afraid I need to.
Nothing happened.
I remember this my first experience with the Caterpillar generator. Yes, I look around me and thank God, there's nothing to see. There's no one to see this.
Then nothing happened, right?
It's very nice, very nice. And when you started in a Caterpillar with their technical career,
right?
What do you believe that the difference between the culture, and we're talking about your family culture, and you compete with an American culture, American families? There is the difference between for example, in a family, in a Colombian family that you study engineer, you are an engineer, and there is an American family with another engineer, younger.
Right.
There is the difference when how the companies see in that time. Nowadays, because nowadays it's different, but in that time there is difference for an American company, like for example, like any kind of American companies. How can this company see this difference between the culture, and when you have an engineer in a Colombian family, for example, and an American family, there's different from that or not?
It's a good question. I think it depends a lot on the role that you're gonna be doing. Like, I have the ability that, of course, that spoke Spanish, and the position was to do work with some of the Latin American dealers at the time. So that kind of took me there. But my group, it was very diverse. It was a person from the Middle East. It was myself. There were a person from Jamaica, even a couple of American people. So we were very diverse group, and I think that companies in the US, they appreciate that, the diversity, because they know, the diversity, makes us stronger. Different backgrounds make us, for example, I wasn't as strong as electrical as my American peers that study electrical engineering, so they helped me improve, on my electrical side. And then, when we needed to talk to our customers, hey, in Latin America, we do things a little bit different culturally, and helping also understand that part of the business. So I think the companies there appreciate when you are from different background, for sure. For sure, it's not an obstacle. I think is they see value in that. And of course, and from the family point of view, yes, there's differences. The differences in the culture. I think from the American culture point of view, they want you to be accountable as you're a little young. So it's good. You want to be as independent as possible and be accountable. Maybe in our Latin cultures, and it was maybe more collective, more group oriented. Well, they use a little more independent, like you're responsible, you are accountable for your actions. So I think it's a good, it's different. Both have strengths, but the both are, I was lucky that I got exposed to both, so I'm able to understand the individualism of the American culture versus the, you want to call it, the collectivism of the Latin culture. So you understand a little bit better both, and do not take offense, that maybe it's more direct business in the US, maybe in Latin America, we're more, more sociable, more relationship building. But it's not bad or wrong. It's just ways of communicating and working together.
Yeah, great. And do you know here in Brazil we have some regime to work, name it CLT. Do you know the CLT? Every employee here in Brazil use this system to work. That name is CLT.
CLT.
Yes, and then there's the same regime to you have some different conditions to work. For example, when you have a employee from the WT, for example, we have one register, and this register can be for you some vacation and some direct some points of some different things you have to the company need to pay, and the employee will receive.
Right.
So the point is, I would like to understand how can this work in the United States, because that I heard is when you work you receive, and if you not work you don't receive. The Brazil is different. You can, if you have not have registered with some company and you have some, for example, problem with your health, and you cannot working, the company needs to have to give you a support, and you have some directives like a vacation. So there's a lot of things that this regime provide for the employees. We pay, for example, on tax here in Brazil, that we will pay for the government, and we will receive it probably, if you have the opportunity to receive, come back this money from the government. How can this work in the United States?
Okay, good question. So it seems like good benefits here in Brazil. Then
Isabella, just invite Felipe to work in the WT.
Right, exactly, right. Sounds good. It's a good question because there's key differences there. I think the benefits are more, for example, in Brazil than there is in the US. In the US is more, it's an open market, so there's not as many benefits as there are in Brazil, but there are probably more chance to reward financially based on execution, right? So a lot of the companies, when you work there, it's a private industry, right? For the most part, if you work for a private company, most companies offer a benefits package. So benefits package includes, X amount of days of vacation, and they help you pay for health insurance, and they help you build your retirement. It does, some companies, they give you better, of course, the more experienced senior position, they give you more benefits. So it's more like open market. So sometimes even the same job position might be very different, the benefits that you get, but the government regulation, it's less in the US compared to Brazil, so the in the US is more like a shared responsibility between the employee and the employer to build those safety nets. Then maybe in Brazil it's mainly the government that is more responsible to manage all this for you. So you have to, get insurance, maybe the company you
got
do the
it.
insurance, or sometimes people, if you're as a business owner, you have to go to a health insurance and get your own health insurance separately. It's not like a government subsidy. There's some subsidies, of course, for lower income people, but as a business owner or private employee, you kind of on the private. It's a private market, so you have to shop around and find the best for you and you have your family.
I got it. That's a very topic you're talking about because there's the different opinion, and it's easier for me because I am a owner now.
Right.
But I know my whole life I will stay with like a owner. So I change my life because I want this.
Right.
And I have my opinion, but doesn't matter my opinion. But what I can understand now is, if I am wrong, for example, what I understood when you talking about it is the difference between the United States and then Brazil, for example, the responsibility is from employee and employer.
Correct.
And here in Brazil, we have a responsibility between employee, and government to make your hand in this cake.
Exactly.
This is the big difference.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
that we have some. I don't know. I cannot say for you that I am agree or not with the CLT program. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, we need to understand. I believe that the Brazilian people need to understand that if you have some doubt now, you can get some ChatGPT. If you don't know what a CLT is, just
just
search.
ask.
You ask for the ChatGPT, and you know if it's good or not. My opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
Yes, the most important is then an intelligence, artificial intelligence. You're talking about it, and I believe that the big difficult for me, like a citizen, is when I receive my salary, I pay tax.
Yeah.
All right. When I buy something, I pay tax.
Right.
When I say something, I pay tax.
Yeah.
So what it's in my my pocket. Have what?
Yeah.
So I work in all my month, and I receive it, and I need to pay tax.
Right.
When I go to the supermarket, buy my food, I need to pay tax. And if I need to sell something like my home, my car, I pay tax again. So, and this tax, I know that around the world, in the United States, the tax is very expensive, but we will have security, education, and health. Here in Brazil, we pay a lot of tax, and we need to pay. And then I have another problem.
Yeah.
Because I pay tax when I receive, when I buy, and when I sell.
Right.
And I have another big problem here in Brazil. I need to pay so expensive for my health, family, for my security, because I cannot walking in the street.
Right.
And so I have nothing to education, nothing to security.
Yeah.
And that is it. We pay tax and we have nothing.
Right. That's
and the big difference is this, because when I have some employee, when we have some contract to have a new employee, we need to pay something for the government. And so for you understand, if some employee, we have some $10 with cost with one employee, we have to pay 100% more for this same situation. So I pay for the employee and I pay for the government.
Yeah.
And we put some money in the table, and we can never see this money again. So this is the biggest problem. And I believe when you work in free situation, like said, we can have we can talking about with your employee, between the employer, talking about, oh man, I will do this, and we will pay that, and you can put in this some conversation to understand what is better for the both.
Exactly.
That is the difference.
Yeah, that's a difference. Yeah, but again, like you said, we all have to pay taxes, and when you buy, when you sell, if you give you a gift, you pay taxes. So it's a high taxable economy as well. But yeah, there are programs that people can take advantage of, some education and health. If you're a veteran, the military forces, there's protections as well for veterans. That's very important, in the U.S. So yeah, is some difference. I don't speak for Brazil because I don't live here, but I hear you. Yeah,
I really don't understand why the United States president don't put CLT there. You don't know, Williams, why the American president don't put CLT like here in Brazil, in the United States? Because it's so good.
is it right?
Yeah, I cannot understand.
Maybe for the
In
elections.
Japan, in the United States, I don't know why only the Brazil have CLT.
CLT.
This is very good question.
It's a good
So
question.
when you finish, we will ask to the ChatGPT together.
Right, we ask ChatGPT what.
And that's it. And when we work all our life,
Yeah.
when we are a CLT person,
Yeah.
we work all our life believing that in the finish of your career,
Yeah.
we will stop and the government will support
Will
us
support,
with some money
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
security and some health.
Mhm.
We have this situation. The government, in theory, they provide for us this situation. You
Okay.
work all your life, pay your tax,
Yeah.
and I will get this tax in your salary
Yeah.
directly. The government pushing it in
Mhm.
your salary, and you will older. You can stop work
Working
and
again.
having a good situation provided from the government. In the
Exactly.
United States, how can we work it?
Yeah. So that's called the Social Security. So the Social Security.
Social Security.
Yes, and it's a similar concept. Basically, when you work, that there's some payroll taxes that the employee and the employer give the government, right? So both, not only the employee but also the employer, they pay these taxes to fund your retirement. But it's kind of pay as you go type of thing, which means my taxes right now are paying for the people that retire right now. The righteous people that retire, we're working, we pay for these people right now. The problem is, maybe when I retire, there's not going to be enough funds to pay for me. So what in the US, there's two type of retirements. There's Social Security. I don't know, I guess maybe you get like 30% with the government, maybe tops, I don't know, 30, 40 max of your current living. The rest, you have to fund it yourself. So there's private retirement plans like the 401k that you build yourself with your own money, pre-tax. So the ability, you can pre-tax or after tax, but you take that money also, you pay your Social Security, like the CLT, and then you create a private account and you put some money. 5%.
It's very normal in the United States. It's a culture American state.
Yeah, because when you retire, if you only depend on the Social Security, like I said, maybe there's zero when you retire because it's not money, or maybe it's 20-30%. So your quality of life is gonna go down. So people,
that's the same in Brazil.
It's the same. So you do your private retirement, and in some companies they match. So for example, for every dollar, they give me $1. So what attract companies attract talents. Okay, we match your retirement. So you give $1, I give you $1. So you put into your account, your retirement account. So that account get invested, and the companies, most of the time, they manage that for you with third party specialized companies for you. So they give you your statement. So use like a bank account, you put in there. The stock market does well, or you put something more conservative, or you want to be aggressive and go in the stock market. You manage that. So you complement the other 80-70% with that private account when you're retired. So it kind of give you, if Social Security is gone, at least you have your private account. So I encourage people to start their retirement early, because the power of compounding. The sooner you put some money, we're some of the very young 20s, right? I don't need to put money aside. But we were 20 yesterday, and now we're in our 40s. So it's good, if I would have put money in my 20s, maybe I will have more. So I encourage people to have both. So it's how it works. You have to pay the Social Security because you have to. It's mandatory by law. If you work, you pay that.
Here in Brazil, like
it's
here in
the same,
Brazil,
right?
Yeah.
And then you build your safety net with your 401k or Roth IRA too.
It's very normal in the United States.
Very,
people have the
It's not normal. Unfortunately, it's not normal.
But if you can say how many percent between, for example, we have 100 people. How many people?
It's a good question. I think it's challenging. Like in Brazil, not a lot of people have make enough to save for retirement. So a lot of people is going to depend on the social security, and maybe by right now I think 67 for me to retire, but maybe they increase it to 70, 75. Who knows? But you don't know for sure if it's going to be. But I think it's a good. I think most people that work in companies they work that, but there's some more jobs that they don't offer that, so you have to do it separately, or so it's something that you have to learn and try to save up. It's important.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same here in
Same
Brazil.
here.
It's the same, yeah.
Same Brazil.
But
You have a
we have,
private.
yeah, yeah.
issue?
But
Okay.
I don't know anyone to have
It's
a
not very
private. Yeah,
common?
not very common.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not very common. We need it, and
So
we
why
have
is that?
no obligation to pay this for the government,
Right.
and it's the same
So
in the United States.
most people depend on that.
On
the
that,
same-
the government supports.
in your personal savings.
Have nothing.
Okay.
For example, me, I have no. I don't have. I spend all my money every
Oh.
month.
Well, we better start saving now,
Yeah.
Diego.
I think, oh God, please, I need to live a lot and work a lot.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
And that's it. And Philip, let's talking about the different thing now. About I would like to understand something. One thing about your career when
Yeah.
you started with mechanical engineering to from your first job until your first experience with like a manager.
Okay.
How many years how you did
Okay.
what you did to go to this position?
Good. So for me, I built by steps. When I looked at it, for me, started as engineer, being more technical work. Then I moved out to doing more project management. So I understood not only the design engineering, but also the purchasing, and understand the legal aspect and the accounting. So with the project management, as a project manager, you get involved in the different aspects of that. And then of course went to the dark side of sales and said love sales. So then on the sales you get more face to face with the customer, right? Being on the field, which is different. Being the designing and all that and testing is different from when you go to the customer and and you get that experience. So I kind of built my career on those steps. I think it's important for me. Was always important to be technically knowledgeable. So I needed to understand my product as better as I could. So I learned generally from the technical side, and then I kind of move up into management the project, and then into the managing the business point of view. So I think that's when I look back, when you ask me, I said I build it from the technical to management to the business commercial part of it.
Okay, and but tell me something about the first experience with managing people.
My first experience with managing people.
How can it happen in that time? For how long time you are a manager?
I started managing in I think it was 2016 when I started.
About 10 years.
About 10 years
that you are a manager.
Yes.
So you remember that your first opportunity, something asking you, oh Felipe, let's go to be a manager, or you go to some opportunity. How can it happen in that time?
Well, at the time, one of my close friends, wasn't looking for a job, and he called me up. Hey, this is good position for you. I think you'll be a good match. Would you be interested in seeing? I said, man, I'm not looking for a job, but hey, I'm, no kids, anything. Why not? Let me talk. Curiosity, I think, is as an engineer, we're very curious, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something good out of it. So I went to see my friend, give me more details, and then I got an interview with the company I'm working on. Rodco, known as also Kohler, formerly known as Kohler. So it was in Miami, Florida, and okay, well, go to Miami, start managing a group of engineers and doing some self. So I was like, okay, this is interesting, but never done management on that. So I was lucky and blessed that I got a good team of engineers that welcome me, that listen to my ideas, and and from there it was good. Grow as now as managing. Of course, I was a little bit scared of how to manage. I'm gonna go be a good boss or bad boss, and are they gonna do what a lot of fears, but I think it worked out. And be yourself and be good to people, right? Just what I remember is how I was treated with my previous managers, what I learned, the good and the bad, maybe apply the best I could. Not only say yes to everything, but giving, be supportive. I think understanding the product helps, because you gained respect from your subordinates, if you want to call it, and kind of be not a boss, but be like a leader, and support for them, because as a group, your team, they don't, we all depend on each other. Nobody's above us. So that's kind of my culture with my teams is, we're all the same. We're here together. And I'll support you the best, and keep the communication.
And how many guys it was your
at the time? Was only two engineers. Yes,
2 engineers.
Yes, 2 engineers. Yeah.
I remember that my first time that I was a manager, I asked by my boss to give me this opportunity, and we are in 10 engineers.
Oh wow!
And so my first experience, but I believe that for me
started big,
Yeah, no, but because I'm just a worker nowadays. I'm working, and my culture is if you need to paint this wall, I will paint with you, and now in my life I do everything with every people around me. This is our culture in the WT. It's the same. We live in this way, so we have no difference. For example, if Williams have been doing something and I'm in the same place, I will do together. So for me, when I was managing for my first time, I was an engineer. So my first day with the engineering manager, I was an engineer too. So and another day engineer, another day the same. So manager for me, we need to do the same thing that the people who work with you. I believe that is it. And I live this within the WT, and we are the same people there. We do everything together. So of course, with some technician, he has his responsibility, and I have my responsibility. But when he need me, I will go, and it's okay for me. It's so good, and the post it's the same. My job, I will support it every time, from Isabella, Williams, Larissa, Flávia, everything. Everyone that work with me, we support each other. So be manager for me, it's work like another one guy that work with you.
Exactly. It doesn't change, right? So that's
but managing engineer, it's easier. The problem when you need to manage sales team. How are you about your first experience with the sales team?
Well, the sales team is yes, like you said, it's different.
Totally different.
It's totally different. It's more is more dynamic. It changes. It's not the same, because at sales we have different. Go from seeing a customer to be on site to close a deal. So it's very dynamic. So one person is we're too aggressive. Some person is not so aggressive. So it's like you try to keep the balance. But yeah, it is exciting, because it's never the same day. One day is something special. So.
I can explain it in Portuguese, but I will try in English. Right. When you are engineering and work with engineering team, you have 2 possibilities. Or you can, or you cannot. Just do it. When you work with the sales team, you can, you cannot, and maybe I don't know. So this part that you have when you are an engineer, we have 15%, yes, 50%, no. Right. When you are a sales team, we have 1%, yes, 2%, no, and 98%. Maybe. So it's totally different.
It's great. And sales is never zeros and ones. That's true. That's a very good example. Because you never, and then you cannot say no all the time, or cannot say yes all the time. So I think maybe is the best word, especially with customers, right?
The most part of my life, I was technical, and I believe probably 20 years from my experience. I was technical, and when I started to work with a sales team, it's very difficult for me because the only thing that I did is fit some machines, and when I need to sell and to understand that
Yeah.
we need to be different every day and every opportunity is very nice. It's
Yeah.
totally different, and I believe that every people needs to go from the sale experience
Yeah.
because it's totally different.
It's all
and it's very
different.
nice.
Yeah. It gives you and it, you know, we're here to serve customers and listen to the voice of the customer, understanding. Sometimes from a technical point of view, it's so clear. You know, you do this, the general does that, but the customer, what was it? You know, why is the customer not accepting this? So until you don't go and talk to a customer, you're okay. You made that click and connect. Okay, the desires, the needs of a customer. How do you educate the customer? How you translate that into the engineering and the team is it gives you a good perspective, because like you say, you to an engineer you cannot say maybe, right? You have to say yes or no. So how you become that maybe to a yes or no to the engineer.
And I learned about it when William having some technical problem, and she asked me, Diogo, I have this problem, and that technical problem, I say for he, oh man, I'm really sorry. I am a salesman. I'm not an engineer more. I am a salesman. I'm really sorry, but I cannot help you.
but it has to happen. So make it happen. Right?
The life is it. I'm really sorry.
Well,
very nice, very nice. But it's, I believe that is the biggest, the best opportunity to understand what work is working with sales team.
Yeah, I agree.
And Felipe, let's talk now about our job, about our job. You are main responsible for America Latina and Caribbean.
Yes.
And talking nowadays, you understand our Brazilian markets.
Yeah.
And I would like to understand, and I'd like to ask you about, for you compare Argentina, our brothers. Our brothers with us. Because I don't know. I don't understand nothing about politics. I don't understand nothing. I don't want. It's not my problem. My problem is work and take care of my family and my friends that work with me. But I heard a lot of times that the Argentina is better than us. The politics there is different, and their market is better than us. It's one reality when we're talking about generators in Argentina and Brazil?
Good question. It put me in a hard situation.
No.
With the Argentinians.
No,
I'm glad we're not talking football.
No, don't talk about football, because the football, of course, we are better.
Right.
Yeah, we have a Pelé.
Of course,
they have nothing. They have anyone. We have a Pelé.
Exactly. Always the best. There's differences in the market. I think the main difference, or one of the main difference, is the openness of the market. You know, Brazil is, of course, largest market, is larger than Argentina in a way for power generation, just because there's more people, there's more buildings, and more need for power than Argentina. But it's a complex country for outsiders. It's a lot of rigorous importation requirements for importers.
It's easier to work with
Argentina, to enter.
It's easier.
It's easier. Today is easier. Things change in our countries up and down, but today is easier to import generators into the economy there. So I think that's one of the key differences. For example, on the markets like gas and all that, maybe it's bigger today in Argentina. They got probably more natural gas, I would say, more oil probably in Brazil. But the infrastructure buildings and the digital age here in Sao Paulo is the biggest in the whole Latin America. The data centers, the mission critical buildings here is definitely much bigger. So it depends on the market segment that you are. There's one bigger than the other. But again, Brazil is such a massive country that is always very attractive for us companies to go here and do business. But it's a more and more complex place to navigate and understand how to do business in Brazil.
No, I know that because we have been talking about your market about generators.
Yeah.
When we compare the how many generators the Helco imported to Argentina is totally different between our market.
Right.
And Brazil is so bigger when we compare than
Yes,
Argentina.
exactly.
So this is the answer
Right.
for this question.
The answer is that DWT is going to be the answer for.
We have a bigger responsibility here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, you do that.
We got right. Exactly.
We love a bet.
There you go. We do bets.
We love a bet, but it's very interesting because we live in here in Brazil in a difficult time when the people is very polarized,
Yeah.
and some people believe something, another one totally different. That's a shock when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people here in Brazil compare. Oh man, look for Argentina. They are very better than us. So and when I see for Argentina, I can see nothing.
Right.
But when you're talking about business, about our business generator, man, I understand. I understood that you told me that Argentina it's bigger than us. It's much bigger than us. They have another opportunity that with generators we don't have here in Brazil.
Right. And one of the key differences is you manufacture a lot of generators in country compared. You're a big manufacturing country for generators inside Brazil. While Argentina, they don't manufacture as much locally, so they bring more,
but
not that the market is bigger, but probably there's more imports for generators because they don't manufacture as much as you do here in Brazil.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I believe that it's changing every day and
It's
so
changing
fast because the biggest companies who here in Brazil that manufacture generator is closing.
Yeah,
they cannot do it because there's a lot of small company and import from China, from the United States. So everything is changing.
It's
here.
changing.
So I believe that in 10 years, probably we will have any one factor here in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because every part will gonna be from China, from the United States, but Brazil, I believe we don't have any one factor that produce generator like we had in the past, like a material, leather work, and so something like factor like that. That we have some factors that manufacture, put some engine and alternate and put together and do it.
Yeah.
But like it, for example, MWM like we working, they produce all own engineering and put your alternator and all generator.
Yeah.
I believe it's come to the end.
It's gonna change, and it's true. Our market is changing very fast in the last five years. 10 years is changed more than it changed probably in the last 30 years, and it keeps changing. Now, like you said, we're joking about ChatGPT. Now that's gonna affect also on a lot of things that we do in some generators. So the market is rapidly changing, for us as well. More demand, and then more. You have to be more creative. You have to be more efficient, faster, and cheaper.
Yeah.
So everything, before was, well, you could be one or two, but nobody can be five. Now the market is asking you have to be everything for me to buy your product. So for us, it's a challenge now.
And I believe that the biggest company here in Brazil they don't are learn about it, because for example when we're talking about Helco go to China and have a new factor, improve a new business. So here in Brazil you don't have one big company doing something like that. So I believe that Brazil we are on a old thought, and we need to learn something like that. And I would like to explain for me and for us, what's the plan for the Helco when they big, probably I believe that the Helco and the Kohler history and the SDMO history, when you put this history together, probably you are the biggest in the world. So the more than 100 years and manufacturing generator. I believe that the Helco now is the biggest one around the world, doing the same thing, 100 years. And open your eyes now, exactly 2026 year, we look for our then say, man, we need to go to China.
Right.
How can Helco understand it's important from you
Yeah.
now?
It's very good question. So I think the company evolved now. We're the legacy of Kohler, right? Over 1920, doing the first generator in the world. It was patented, but Kohler, and then recently we became the Kohler Power Systems. Now we're an independent company called Relco, and we're only a generator company. Compared to our competitors that maybe hire construction, trucks, other business units. We're focused on power generation. That's our bread and butter. Our engines, and our engines are for alternators, and alternators for gensets. This is what we do. So I think we're become more specialists now. Before maybe we had different business unit. Now it's on power generation, all from the person on the shop floor to our CEO. They're how we sell generators, how we do better to our customers. So I think the vision is very good because we're working on the generators, and we understand the market. The market is a demand, a lot of demand, and pricing is very important, but also you maintain the quality.
Yeah.
So we wanted to maintain the same quality, the same history that we have over 100 and over 106 years of doing generators, and put it into practice. We got the history of the Kohler, then the history of SDMO, and then now as Relco. So we got factories, like you said, in North America, in Europe, and in China. So focusing, our product from China now, we have a new KD series launch product up to 600 kW, 750 kVA out of China. And that's going to supply a lot of Latin America, because we needed to evolve fast. And it was, to me, it was surprising how fast it evolved, because, there's things, some of those projects that take a long time, and, in approvals and meetings, but this one happened really, really fast. So I'm very, proud of being part of that organization, that they saw the problem and they acted fast, and here is the product to the market. So I think, like you said, the companies need to evolve and know what to do, where to go. Today, the product is coming a lot from Asia, and you need to be, more cost effective. Then let's do it. Tomorrow we don't know, but at least we need to follow the trend and stay close to the change, because otherwise, you're out of the business, and by the time you realize, it's too late.
Yeah.
So you have to be now. And now it's easier because there's technology, is communication, so you can see what the trend of the market. You understand your competitors a little better, what they're doing. So you have to be, make decisions quickly. And I think Redco understood that, and they decided and executed.
Yeah, and it's so good to understand it, because it's totally different when I'm talking about generator here in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because the biggest American company who manufacturing generators look for American company looking for China, and looking for American Latin, and understand this situation. We need to go there. It's totally different from here in Brazil. Our biggest factors import poor engine and make cheaper products, but it's not the solution. It's totally different, because Helco go to the China and produce in China, on a Helco product, with the same quality and the same product, but with another conditions, another politics, but another culture from another markets, but at the same products. It's totally different when we're talking about the Brazil, because Brazilian company here is importing some poor engine, a very poor engine, and make cheaper. Yeah. So.
Yeah, then you sacrifice quality and
have no magic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then the customers are demanding. The customer wants cheaper products, but you want the same quality, and and you have to be creative. Is what the market wants you to do. So for us, yes, we bring in product out of China, like you said, but the highest standards, and making sure everything's quality, and making sure that it meets the standards of where we build in the world. And because still our name's still there, right? And the customer is going to remember that when the product. And one thing that's also want to mention is the product is very important, but now I think the aftermarket support is very important as well. I think before, maybe some of the evolutions of the market, before is the product, good generator, good power, price, whatever, and all that. But then now the aftermarket is being a big focus for everybody. For us, it's a big focus: service, support, parts, because the customers they want somebody that is gonna respond. Things is a machine. Things wear and tear. There's gonna break. Something's gonna happen. Poor maintenance, whatever. But they care about the people behind it. How are you gonna respond to my problem? So we're doing a lot of focus with that, and that's why we have partners like DWT that you focus on commissioning and service and aftermarket, because we want partners that is gonna support our product quickly to the customer, because it's our name in there. So I think that's important, and I see something that DWT is very focused in the service and aftermarket support and Excel. And that's what the market is asking today. So
our eyes is focusing on service, but we need a good product.
Yeah, correct.
The product is the main thing in our service. So
exactly.
I believe that we have customer for every business.
Yeah.
For the poor product, we have customer for that, but it's not so good when we have in our headquarter meeting in the WT. We can ever search for this question. How can we do that? Because we will to compete with poor products and a good product, and how the big companies have been doing, like Helco now, and go to China. I went to China last year. It's amazing place.
Yeah, it is amazing.
China is incredible. The people, it's incredible. I love it. Do go there, and I believe that we will go again in a Helcom company this year.
Of course, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you in January. So January we have our big launch, our summit for our new KD series at our factory in China, and it's impressive for the technology. Like you said, the quality is amazing. And of course the culture. People are very welcoming. It was my first time in China, and it's surprised. It's amazing. Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah,
I believe that it's, in my opinion, China is I hate the plane. This trip
it's a long flight. Yeah,
how it's not so good, but that when I arrived in China and I stayed there 70 days.
Wow.
And for me, it was amazing. This experience, it's the best in my whole life.
Wow!
I have never saw in my whole life one place like that. For me, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that the Helcons go there and understand the American Latina. And when we're talking American Latina, we're talking about Brazil.
Yeah.
So now, Felipe, the sales director for Helco, you need to say us what you do for our marketing here in Brazil to our products like a gas generator, diesel generator. What do you believe that is important for Helcom do with us here in Brazil?
Yeah, good. So I think that there's a big opportunity with gas. I think there's a big market here. I think the homes are relying more on gas, as the gas infrastructure, especially here in São Paulo, is getting bigger. Homes getting needing more gas, bigger homes, more buildings, and I think gas is a good opportunity there. I think we're the big generators too, as we see the mission critical, which includes your hospitals, includes of course your data centers, your water treatment plants, all that big infrastructure. Digital age, data centers keep growing, so there's a big opportunity for Reco there. We are top quality product. And I think that will be a big market there. I think those gas and the large diesel are still. We'll see. With the small diesel, we our new product. I think we're gonna now enter this market, and hopefully in Brazil we can. The plan is to make an impact, and go there. So it's a growing country. It's a big economy, growing country. So you're gonna need power. So I think from gas to diesel. To large diesel, I think is a big opportunity. We're working on some things on renewal and hydrogen engines that I think will come to our region for more renewables, and we're more conscious about the environment and the impact. And I think our customers are going to start looking at those solutions as well. So I think that's the focus. I think this is great opportunity here, and we're going to need, even though there's green energies, my opinion is that we will need at least diesel for the next 50, to 60 years, we're going to need diesel and gas, petroleum, fossil fuels, engines. They'll still here for a while. So maybe our grandkids, they will have to come up with new ideas. But for the next 50, 60 years, we talk about, it will stay here. So I think it's the most efficient source of energy today. Fortunately, we don't have newer technology like hydrogen and things like that still, but the cost of these technologies are very high, and we're still learning how to apply those in power generation. But yeah, it's coming. But I still believe fossil fuels, petroleum is still the main source for us. So for the next 50 years, I think we're okay with job. We still have a job secure,
Yeah, and we need to talking about it because we talking about we have this weekend talking about it when the Heco comes back to Brazil with the WT.
Yeah.
So now we live in another moment.
Yes.
And the past Kohler went to Brazil, to Brazil, and go back to United States, and the WT loves some bets.
Yeah.
When we have one bet,
yeah.
it's your life. And when we're talking about our competitors, when they say a lot of things about it.
Yeah.
And we are together. We are here to prove for our customer, not for our competitors. Just look for us and say, "I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, competitor. You will be the second one."
Yeah.
So for now, we're working.
Exactly.
No. So the point is, we don't. The point is the competitors is not our most important thing that we need to understand.
Yeah.
But we need to prove for our customers that we are together.
Yeah.
Helco, with the biggest company around the world, believing in Brazil.
Correct.
And the Helco choose the WT to work together. And how can you see you like a Helco? What do you think about it? We are come back here and we can do a good things for our customers because the WT live only for our customer. The customer is the first one.
Exactly.
Yeah, the customer is the first one. We are the customer that you gave our money and you can provide security and safe life for our family with our customer. So I believe that the customer is the most important in every meeting that we have been talking about everything we will ever talking about our customers. So we live in front of them. So we need to prove for our customer that we are doing it, living from them.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say the last question, the last thing that we can talking about business. I would like to say something for our customers.
Yeah.
How can you, Felipe? How can you like a Helco? What do you believe in the WTA? What do you believe that we can do together for our customer? Because our customer is the most special for us.
Yes. And I'm 100% with you. Our customers, without our customers, we wouldn't be here. Or without our customers, we depend on our customers. We want to make our customers. And what I will tell, the customers in Brazil, we live in the Brazilian market. I think it's largest market in Latin America. We want to succeed in the market here. We want to do an exceptional work for them. So we appreciate, the culture here. It's a high technical level in Brazil, very high. It's a very high level. We partner with, people like DWT to understand and better get to our customer needs. And, you have a top quality product and you're going to have a support with our partners, not only from the factory, because we like our customers to talk to us directly as well, not only the distributor because you sell through it. No, we want to be involved. We want to be part of the sale experience. This is a group. We work locally with DWT, but it's okay. You talk to me. I want to understand from the customer point of view. I want to understand what's good for you, what's good, what's bad, and how we can improve. So you got top quality product, and you're going to have a top aftermarket support. I think that's the things that the customer wants to know. That is a brand that's been, over 100 years, and it's not going anywhere. And it's a brand that you have trusted. You're gonna make your investment, like you said, and you're gonna feel comfortable that the investment is gonna be secure and it's gonna be supported by professionals like ourselves. So that's what I will say to your customers, and thank you for your business, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Felipe. I appreciate it a lot, and then I can say, for you and for us, for our competitors, enjoy your position because we are here, man.
We're coming. We are coming. That's right. We're coming.
Just waiting. and we will change your position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So watch out with this team, because we're a good team.
Yes, we are together. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, Felipe. This is then a special experience for me. You are a big friend. We like a lot when you come to Brazil for we make business, for we talking about the life.
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity to understand one a little bit more about your life, about your career, and I believe that it's so important for the young guys like our team that come here and understand what you can do. And so I would like to say thank you so much for your experience, for your help. Thanks for everything. Today is a very important day for me because we are a friend and we are fighting together for your family. And I know you have your brilliant history, and understand that you go to your place, your country, and go for another one. You are a big soldier, and I'm so happy to understand your own story and receive you is so important for us. And thank you so much, Felipe.
Oh, thank you, Diogo. Thank you for the humbling words. Feel always very, very, very comfortable with you, with the DW team. Always feel welcome here. I'm always learning from you guys, and always very proud of what you guys are doing with the company, how you're growing, and how you making an impact. And what we talked earlier, for me, is about the legacy that we're gonna leave behind, right? How we pass down to the newer generations, it's all saying sky is the limit. Really go for it. Stay focused. Is not easy, but you're gonna get it and get your dreams on. Yeah, exactly. And thank you. Very, very happy. I'm humble, and thank you for having me in this project of you and everyone here. It's gonna be very successful. I think it's a great idea, and keep up the good work. And I'm here to support you and be your friend. Continue to be your friend, and thank you for your friendship.
Thank you so much. I will finish the program.
Yep.
And we say the same thing. And I will say in English for you, but then after that, I will finish our program, our episode, saying the same thing. I'm so happy today because now your energy improve our knowledge, and we can be better tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So thank you so much. And I will finish saying this in Portuguese. I know your Portuguese is very good and you understand, but I need to say in English first.
Of course.
Thank you, Felipe.
Thank you.
E é isso aí, pessoal. Mais um episódio aqui. A felicidade é muito grande de estar aqui com vocês. É um prazer. Espero que vocês tenham gostado da história desse grande soldado que é o Felipe, que vem dos Estados Unidos. É um colombiano que saiu para a luta logo cedo e veio para lutar. Foi para a luta, venceu e está aqui para mostrar que a nossa história, que a energia dele fez a diferença e trouxe ele até aqui. Então ele é uma pessoa de sucesso graças à própria luta que ele teve em sua vida. Então muito obrigado por mais uma vez estarmos juntos. Desejo que vocês tenham uma vida com muita saúde e muita disposição para lutar. Muito obrigado. Felipe, hoje a energia veio de você. Muito obrigado, meu amigo.
Muito obrigado, amigo.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.